Gregory. This could be a record. Okay, I think I can. Jeff, I think we need some filler. Usually we would hear the sounds of talking. We haven't hit that. There you go. That threshold yet. Shabbat Shalom. Ryan, give me both mics. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Good Shabbat Shuvah. We got 3 hours of davening. 142, we welcome the ministering angels. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Oachem LeShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni LeShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Seitchem LeShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We continue together, the bottom of page 124. May the door of the synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness, pride, envy, and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or strained feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May the synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. We turn to page 120 as we light our Shabbat candles.
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav, metzivanu lehatlik ner shel Shabbat.
For those who are able, we rise together for Kiddush 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho me'ahava u'b'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'asei v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh seichel yitziat Mitzrayim ki banu bacharta ve'otanu kiddashta mikol hamim b'shabbat kodshecha באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים.
The top of page 127. There are days we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we seek not to acquire, but to share. There are days we exploit nature as if we're a hoard of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand and wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days we act and care nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty, a better world, our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. We turn to page 138, L'chadodi.
L'chadodi לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. l'chadodi לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבורך תשמיענו, אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, שם ולתפארת ולתהילה. l'chadodi לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. l'chadodi לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה מחשבה תחילה. l'chadodi לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. l'chadodi לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. l'chadodi לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. l'chadodi לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
We rise together to greet Shabbat HaMelkah.
אוי ושלום עטרת מעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהול לתוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, l'chadodi לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. l'chadodi לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
I did not do a magic trick and make the prayer books disappear. They're over there on our left or your right. We do this so our staff doesn't have to take them back and put in the Yom Kippur prayer book. So they're right there. But anyway, bottom page 145, we continue together. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There's no place on earth without the presence. We stay right here, 144, our Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שם רבה בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומייכון ובחי לכל בית ישראל בגלה ובזמן קריב מאמרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעל מעלמיה יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל מחתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן מעלמה ואמרו amen.
We rise together 146.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada da da da, 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 yada da da da. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Le'olam va'ed Yada da 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 yada da da da.
The top of page 149. Praise you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets a way in which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise you, Adonai, our God, for whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim, on the next page.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, B'shochveinu uvkumeinu, Nasiach mechukecha, V'nismach medivrei Toratecha, Uv'mitzvotecha, Leolam ba'ed, Ki heim chayenu, Me'orech yameinu, Uvahem nehegem, Yomam balam. תורתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. On the next page. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
The top of page 157, we continue together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there's no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Our Chamochah 158. By Louis.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושי פלא, מלכותך ראו בניך, מוקי הים לפני משה, זה אלי אנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
The top of page 161, we continue. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. We say right here, our Hashkiveinu.
Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamideinu shomreinu the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamideinu shomreinu l'chaim. L'chaim.
163. We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. Vishamru 162.
Vishameru b'nei Yisrael et Hashabbat, lasot et Hashabbat l'torotam berit olam, beini ubein bnei Yisrael, oti le'olam le'olam. Shet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim et haaretz ubayom hashni shamat ma'inafash.
Middle of page 165. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. For those who are able, we rise together for our tefillah, 166.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, Mezocher Chaste Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava. Zochreinu lechaim, Melech Chafetz Machayim, Mechotmeinu b'Sefer HaChaim, Lemancha Elohim Chaim. Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Hatagimu le'olam Adonai, Mechayei metim ata Rav lehoshia, Mori tatal, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה. מי כמוך אב הרחמים, זוכר יצוריו לחיים ברחמים, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני המלך הקדוש.
Shabbat Shuvah makes us a little nutty. For those who came in now, there's no attendance, but the prayer books are right over here, okay? We're going to go to page 179. And please join me. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. Make contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praise you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Betov meinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. בספר חיים ברכה ושלום, ברכה ושלום ופרנסה טובה, ברכה ושלום ניזכר וניכתב לפניך, אנחנו וכל עמך בית ישראל לחיים טובים ולשלום. ברוך אתה אדוני עושה השלום. We take a few moments for private meditation. ratzon imrei fi Yihiu leratzon imrei fi V'hegion libi lefanecha Adonai tzuri v'goali Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable before you. O God, my rock and my redeemer. Oseh Shalom bimromav Oseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru Amen.
On this moment in our service, we think of those in our community, those especially who are in need of healing of body or spirit. We think of Barbara Edelman, Linda Applebaum, Sophia Barry, Margaret Bell, Donna Berman, Harold Seitlin, Orit Cohen, Lydia Cutler, Jenny Deutsch, Richard Epstein, Sharon Lahan, Ruth Lishkoff, Elliot Moscow, Ron Ostreicher, Chad Petrowski, Malka Bat Rachel, Aaron Richard, Celia Schulman, Leslie Simon, Jean Sklar, Mitch Schneiderkraut, Steve Spielberger, and Brenda Weinstein. And for those who are with us tonight, if you're thinking of a loved one, a friend, and you wish to share a name out loud, we invite you to do so as my eyes meet yours. For those names mentioned out loud and for those names that are still in our hearts, our Shebeirach, a prayer for healing, 371 middle.
Shebeirach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi Shebeirach Imoteinu Mekor HaBracha La'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Shana
Shalom.
Tova. Gemar Tov. Get them all in. Parshat Ha'azinu, it's if the Torah could ever be Broadway, it would be right here. Ha'azinu, give hear, listen. It's plain with the Hebrew word of ears, but our rabbis describe this as a song, and this is Moses' farewell speech to the Israelites, and he does this often. If you remember the early parshiot in the book of Deuteronomy, each Torah portion, they're series of homilies, series of sermons to constantly remind Israel what they're supposed to do when there's life without him. But I want you to try to imagine this scene. Moses is about to pass away, and he starts singing to the Israelites of what they're supposed to do. And if you listen to these things, good things will happen. So Ha'azinu is kind of terrifying with the theology, but nevertheless, I think Moses is trying to ease the tension by singing. I mean, after all, music can help alleviate the stress sometimes in life. I can imagine all of us at one moment, there's a song that takes us back to a moment of high school, maybe someone unfamiliar, maybe you had a dance song at your wedding, but music plays an important role in our life. So here Moses knows that his story is about to end, and he's trying to figure out what to do, and he wants to conclude, if we look at Parshat Ha'azinu, by singing. So imagine all the Israelites gathering, there Moses, he's warming up with Jeff, I'm just kidding, but he's getting his voice going, trying to sing to the people of Israel to remind them what they're supposed to do. Here's the hardest part. He still can't go into Eretz Israel. God shows him the land, but still, Moses keeps on singing. Even on Shabbat Shuvah, where we are on the Torah portion, I want you guys to take something away. Because throughout the liturgy in Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, we constantly talk about our humanities, our imperfections, and how we hope to strive to work on them. And for Moses, his greatest shortcoming was his anger, his inability to empathize with the Israelites. He couldn't process at times. But once we get to the end of the parasha, this is where Moses pivots. This is where Moses shows his best self. Vayivav Moshe, so it says, come here. Vayidaber el kol divrei hashira, this hazot, this song, in the ears of the people. Here's what's fascinating. Ha'am, so the people, the Hoshia. We know the Hoshia now from Hoshana Rabbah, Simchas Torah. But who's he talking about? He's talking about Joshua. This is the name that Moses gives Joshua. It's a new name. So when we think about it, when people make Aliyah to Israel, they have a new Jew name, a new strong name. This is Joshua's new name. He got it when he was one of the only two spies to come back and said, we can take the land. And here Moses wants to remind him, this is the last day of his life. He calls him Hoshea. And the reason Moses wants to give him this special name is there's something great about being humble. When Moses gives him the mantle to succeed, he didn't want to brag, according to our rabbis. He wanted to remain modest before he was elevated to such a status. According to Ibn Ezra, the great Torah commentator, he knew that only a few people call it Joshua's nickname. But this name was going to be special. It was going to be seen as a token of honor, a token of greatness. And therefore, right when they reclaimed Canaan, he would be elevated, and all of Israel would know who the leader is. So here we are at the end of the Parsha, and the Torah is trying to tell us that Joshua needed to go on his own without Moses. He had to assume this role of leadership, and he had to become his own Hoshea. I have confidence in all of us that this year there'll be strengths, we'll have weaknesses, we'll have moments of despair and moments of hope. But here Moses is giving Joshua the ultimate commandment of having hope. That without Moses' presence, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be Joshua who's the one who reclaims Eretz Israel. And when he takes the mantle, he'll be known as Hoshea. We can play with the Hebrew, the one who redeems, the one who saves, the one that will be there for his people. So as we welcome this new year, I want to remind us to be modest. I want to remind us that we can be humble. Even the greatest leaders in our tradition, they find a way to be thankful for who they are. So on this Shabbat Shuvah, this Shabbat between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, I want all of us to know we have our own Hoshea in us. We always have the opportunity to lead. We rise together, Aleinu 586.
Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. מה אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ היום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
On this Shabbat Shuvah, we recall the yortzites of B.L. Punch Ahrens, Arnold Altmark, Mervyn Barstein, Rosalind B. Bernheim, Samuel Bittner, Roger Blum, James Max Bremen, Dot Caldwell, Meyer A. Klatt, Janet Dorsky, Gene Elkis, Marvin Feldman, Lon David Floor, Sarah Freeman Fogel, Ibn Freeman, Bessie Fronman, Joan Marcus Gilbert, Leon Gottschall II, Mervyn Jerome Goldstein, Marvin Goldstein, Mary Richmond Green, David Greenberg, Claire Hagedorn, Barbara Stryker Herman, Edward L. Cantor, Nessie Kessler, Bertha R. Kessler, Louis Kushner, Alfred Babe Levinson, Norm Levinson, Nathan Lewis, Faye Levitz, Harry Margolin, Catherine Kaki Colette Mendel, Marshall Howard Miller, Samuel Gilner, Celia Nudman, Mo Perlman, Louis Pernia, Bernard Pivow, Myra Edith Rathmel, Barry Roseman, Barbara G. Rosenbaum, Neil Russakoff, Greta Korn-Schwartz, Nathan Shapiro, Rose Singer, Howard Henson Sisson, Mabel B. Skyer, Mary Solomon, Leo K. Steiner Jr., Myron J. Sturman, Max Stern Sr., and Minnie C. Wall, and heartfelt condolences on the recent passings of Howard Mark Davis, father of Richard Davis, Leah Klein, aunt of Jody Robinson, Herbert Loria IV, Andrew Adam Sadler, cousin of Stephanie Strauss, James Gordon Judy Sperling, brother of Andrew. We rise together as a united congregation for a Mourner's Kaddish 598. Yikadal v'ikadash shemei Rabbah, Be'omad yivrach erotei v'amlich malchutei, B'chayachon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, B'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru,
Amen.
Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam alamei almaya, Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekusha,
Brichu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiram v'yalma v'yimru,
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru,
Amen.
Oseh Shalom bimromav, uyaseh Shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru, Amen.
Amen.
Oseh Shalom bimromav, uyaseh Shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ne'imeru, Amen.
We will see you Sunday night live at 7:30. Shabbat Shalom, Shana Tova.
Shalom.
There is services. They're trying to